And we're live. Welcome back to Nerds in the Gym podcast.
You're supposed to say I'm Brandon first.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco, and today is March 15th, 2021. Joe is playing
Sorry,
around with a tractor right now, apparently, a brand new tractor. That's what he considers a toy. So,
a tractor he doesn't own. He just went to a farm, commandeered it.
yes. Oh, wow, we just drink at the same time almost.
That's why it was funny, Marco, because I saw you going for it.
You intentionally did that.
That I did. Anything new, Marco? What's going on with you since last week?
I showed up to class for the first time, for my exercise physiology class for the first time in about 3 weeks today.
What'd they say?
Nothing.
They're not like, who's this weird kid?
No, I don't know, like, my teacher, like, called on me, and anytime, like, so, like, we go through the notes from the lecture we had to watch the day before or whenever, so we watch the lecture before class, then there's objectives, and you answer, like, the objectives, essentially, and then you go over it in class, but go into more detail, and anytime she calls on me, my like time presenting this stuff to the class is way shorter than anybody else's, and it's because I pretty much cover everything that's needed without her like asking too many questions. And then when she does answer the questions, I typically answer them right away. So it's like the most stress-free thing in the world, but I think she was just more like she wants to go into more detail, but it's hard for her to go into more detail when I cover it.
Right.
But I also feel like there's like kind of that like I don't know if like I was a teacher and I didn't have to like go into like force them to go into detail, I would kind of be like, ah, great, it's one of those kids, the smart ones, you know. But like sometimes like she will call on me and I won't have any idea like what she's talking about for like the in detail stuff. But like that stuff is like when like usually like I just don't understand the question she's asking. But then like when she rephrases it, I'm like, oh, now this makes way more sense.
I know it's not what you meant to say, but what you pretty much just said was sometimes the teacher calls on me and I know the answer, and sometimes I don't.
A majority of the time, I do know the answer. The only time I don't know the answer, it depends on how she words it because I'm not very good at listening. And unless you use like baby words, I'm not going to have any idea what you're saying.
So they have to explain to you like you're in a third grader.
Yeah, yeah. See, this
And if,
means good and that means bad. Don't do
ladies and
bad.
gentlemen, he's only 2 years away from being your physical therapist.
No, no, no.
As long as you use small
I have my
words.
senior year and 3 years of grad school.
So 4 years,
4 years.
sorry. 4 years, you're going to have to use very small words to describe your injuries to him. What makes ouchie?
I have boo boo on hip.
Speaking of which, how's your doctors going? They ever let you go to a specialist
So
yet? Or?
I go on Wednesday for my hip popping, but today I realized when I raised my leg up, my hip didn't pop. So I've been having this hip popping problem that was also painful for the past like 3 months or something. And then last Friday, I finally get a hold of a doctor, finally get something scheduled for this Wednesday. And what happens? No hip pop on Monday.
Cured.
I do like what am I going to walk in and do? Like, oh, I had this hip problem for the past 3 months and it just magically disappeared.
Might not hurt.
But I could also bring up my
Sleep.
hamstring injury that I've had the past 3 months because that doesn't seem to be going away. So like I could always just fill the time. Um, I could talk about my inability to multitask. Maybe I could talk about how I just like can't like my attention span is very low. I could just start talking about like random problems. Maybe I could say I have like some like fake disorder or something.
I mean, you could. I just don't think you know what a physical therapist does
No, I'm not going. I'm going to my actual doctor.
for this issue.
Yeah, because he said he wanted to see me before he sent me to a physical therapist. But he, but
That's
he
just
also
his ego
he
talking.
also does like physical manipulation and stuff, like kind of like chiropractic stuff. So he may
Mm-hmm.
want to work on it on his own as opposed to sending me to a physical therapist.
He will not send you to that specialist.
Like
He
if
would rather die than watch one of his patients go to a specialist.
if it was a long-term problem, most definitely. But if he feels like it's not a long-term thing, then it's like he would just. If he feels like it's long-term, he would send me to a physical therapist, I think. But if he feels like it's something he could correct in maybe like that session or just a couple sessions, then it's like there's no need of going to the specialist for a long period of time.
All right, fair enough.
Just so the people who
All right,
listen to this, anytime there's a long gap of silence, it's whenever I take a sip of my drink, Brandon has to match mine with his own.
As he takes out the 9-gallon jug, refilling.
Yep.
So, big week in nerd news. Not really nerd news. We got some nerd stuff coming out. Thursday, the Snyder Cut.
Oh, that's this Thursday?
That's this Thursday.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why they're dropping it on Thursday, but
Well, you want to know why Thursday? Because that's usually when movies open in theaters. They open the Thursday night, technically,
Mhm.
and then like technically the opening day is Friday. But what happened was it used to be the midnight releases, which was like the Thursday, technically Friday morning, and then they kept gradually making them earlier, and now it starts at like 7 o'clock on a Thursday night. And I think it's just because they know that they could get a lot more money that way. Maybe I don't know.
You're talking about the movies?
Yeah.
So the movie started that when the third Batman came out.
Okay.
And there was a shooting at a midnight showing.
Oh.
So that was their answer to it.
They also probably make more money off of it that way.
Yeah, you get an extra day out of it. But honestly, when I used to go almost every Thursday just because no one else would go.
Yeah. Unless it's the big movies. Like you have an Avengers, Marvel, a Star Wars movie or something just huge. Even the DC movies are big. But yeah, no. So I wonder if they're doing that just to line up with how like a normal movie release would go. Release on the Thursday.
I got to work Thursday night anyways. And I don't have HBO Max. I'm going to have to watch it some way, some other way.
Plus, you have to, keep 30 minutes for Impractical Jokers that night,
Thursday, you're not kidding. But also, anytime a big movie happens, the app crashes. No matter which app it is.
It's on
Disney Plus crashed during WandaVision.
Really?
Half the time. I watched it the next.
That's got to be a server overload then. Just like too many people trying to watch it.
Exactly. And then I guess the last couple of weeks with WandaVision, what they were doing is they almost had a waiting room. So you'd go in, they'd put you in a waiting room, you'd wait till it was your turn, and then it would start.
That is ridiculous for streaming because I know for a fact Disney has the money to get better servers and have more servers.
They do, but if you think about it, if it's only once a week that they're dealing with that mass amount, it's not really worth it for them.
Yeah.
But so we got Snyder Cut, 4 hours long. You guys were talking about a watch along.
Joe was talking about a watch along. How would we do this?
I don't know a 4-hour watch along.
No. I never even saw the original Justice League, so it's like I probably don't need to now.
You don't need to now, from what I hear. And honestly, the original one wasn't good, and I'm the only one that saw it, so I don't know.
Now, do you think this will change the story at all, or like how?
They say it does.
Okay.
I just don't know which story they go with.
Yeah.
Or if this Flash movie's going to reboot everything.
Yeah. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
Yeah, I guess so. But someone brought up a fair point. I think it was Kevin Smith. Joss Whedon, they cut his movie down too. So it's like, if you have a 4-hour movie cut into a 2-hour movie, you're going to miss out a lot.
Yeah.
So it's almost better that Snyder got this version out there.
Well, it's like, I don't know. I think they need to, like, they can't be afraid to make movies into 2 parts as well. I don't think that's a bad thing. Like, I guess for, like, Star Wars, it doesn't make sense because the episodes are parts in a way. But, like, Episode 9 was originally supposed to be, like, a 3 to 4 hour movie. But it got cut down, which I guess, like, because it was Episode 9, you probably could have made the exception. But I wonder, like, again, there's so much, like, that you miss out on if you're taking out 2 hours of the movie. And I just wonder if in the case of that, if like you learn more about Palpatine like coming back and stuff, and there's a little bit more like understanding how they're putting the puzzle pieces together of finding that stupid wayfinder or whatever.
For me, it's just like I'm not afraid of a 4-hour movie.
Yeah, I don't mind it.
I've seen 4-hour movies in theaters before. It's just for them to make money, they have to turn over so many theaters.
Yeah.
And if it's pretty much taking up half your theater.
Yeah.
If you're doing 4 hours instead of 2.
Yeah.
You're losing half your
That's
showings.
what I'm saying. Like, do part 1 and part 2. Also, like, if you do part 1 and part 2, a majority of people that see part 1 are definitely going to see part 2. So
Right.
it's like you are just almost doubling the money at that point.
I think you can get away with it. I don't think you want to do it all the time.
And the way I think it should work is like maybe you do like part 1, have it go through its movie theater slate, and then like maybe 6 months later release part 2. Don't like do like an entire year or two to wait.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. Well, that's why I think it's funny that technically Endgame was part 2.
Yeah. It was originally Infinity War part 1 and part 2.
Right. And then they turned part 2 into Endgame.
Yeah.
Which is fine, but it's 2 different movies.
Oh yeah.
They connect, but it's just like you can understand what's going on.
Yeah, no, I feel like there wasn't like almost like a direct continuation in a way. Like it did
because they had that gap.
Yeah.
They had a time gap. So
Yeah.
as soon as you have a time gap, that's a second different movie.
Yeah.
I don't know why they pitched it as 2.
Yeah. I guess because it does all correlate to the Infinity Gauntlet going off and stuff and Thanos being the villain, but it wasn't like necessary. Which obviously they.
I'm trying to think other 2-part movies I've watched. I know Harry Potter had one.
Yeah. That one like made sense, but they waited like a full year to release the second part or something. Which again,
I never saw the second part. I saw the first part. I was like, oh,
well,
okay.
I just think at that point it's like you wait too long, and part 1 of that movie is so slow.
It's not short.
Yeah, it's slow. All the action happens in the second part of that movie. Like part 1's like pretty much a waste of time in my opinion.
But again, after I think that was 7 and 8 in the franchise, so it's like after that many movies, like you kind of earn the audience.
Yeah. Also,
Trust at
most
that
people
point.
knew what to expect. They already read the book.
Right. The Hunger Games I never saw. I think they had a 2-part movie, or was it Twilight?
Mockingjay Part 2. No, that's not. That's a different book. I don't know. Yeah, but
anyway, so
the third one was part 1.
it was
and 2.
trendy for a while. Nothing recently.
No, even then, those two were like split apart like quite some time. Because didn't that Mockingjay come out in like 2016? I thought.
I mean, it's all marketing.
Was it?
So it's just like they probably had to wait for the entire world to get it before they released part 2.
Yeah. I would prefer if they did more part 1 and part 2. So part 1 came out in 2014. Part 2 came out in 2015 for Mockingjay, which is the third film.
Easy enough, but
And then
we'll see what happens.
part.
I think now that everything's home streaming,
Yeah.
and it looks like it's going to be home streaming for a while, do you think that's going to make it more movies in 2 parts or less movies?
I would hope.
Or are they just going to make longer movies?
I would hope more, and I would hope even that maybe the distance between part 1 and part 2 is shorter, because you don't have to wait for the entire movie being out in theaters. So you could do part 1 like on a Friday night, and then maybe like the next Friday night you get part 2. Like you don't have to wait the entire maybe that's too soon. I think for like being in movie theaters, they would have to wait at least 6 weeks because I think most movies stay in the theater for 6 weeks or have a contract for 6 weeks, especially the big ones.
So what they're doing with these home videos like HBO Max, you have 3 weeks to watch it before it goes away.
So maybe you do 3 weeks, and then after the 3 weeks, the next one comes out, next part.
I mean, it's doable. I think we're going to see some really interesting things as far as strategies. So say you have a series and you release one movie every 6 months.
Yeah.
You're essentially taking the made-for-TV model, like Tom Selleck does TV movies.
Yeah.
And there's one character I can't think of it, Jesse something or other. I haven't watched it. My parents do. Jesse Stone, I think it's called. He's got like 25 TV movies,
Oh, okay.
so he's releasing them twice a year.
TV movies are like
So you just
an
change the
hour
subject.
to an hour and a half, right?
Yeah, and then the commercials get you to two.
Yeah, yeah.
But if you think about it, a lot of movies are just an hour and a half now. So
Yeah. Again, like I guess whatever gets the story they're trying to tell out, but like I don't need people shortening a movie or whatnot just to cut it into, the certain time for like theaters and stuff and keep people's attention. If they need to, make part 2, part 3, whatever.
So my thing is, there is something to be said about cutting time out of movies, because there's a lot of times I go into a 2.5 hour movie and I go, they could have cut 45 minutes out.
Yeah, I think you have to be smart about it.
So it just depends who gets that final cut.
I think there's just as much that you need to cut out as you need to keep in. So it's like, but like episode 3 for Star Wars, that first sequence where they go to save Palpatine from Count Dooku, the original script had that set for like 4 hours. That opening scene.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you definitely don't need 4 hours of that entire space battle. But so like there's a lot of stuff that does get cut out of movies that I don't even never makes it to filming, but I think there's definitely a lot of stuff that once filmed you have to pick and choose your battles, obviously, but
I think we're going to see longer movie times if it's all at home stuff. I think they're also giving creative people creative control.
yeah, I don't like it like
So-
when the big boss people try to, take too much control
Get
over
involved.
like length and what's going on with the film.
And then, so not to, just because we're on a time crunch today, Falcon Winter Soldier releases Friday.
Oh, okay.
So they took a week off from WandaVision, and now we have Falcon Winter Soldier. Are you going to check it out, or are you just going to skip it?
See, I watched the trailers for that, and it did not seem very interesting to me.
I'm stoked.
Really. The
Oh, yeah.
Super Bowl commercial is really what turned me down. I was like, ugh.
I don't know what's turning you down. It's a very simple premise.
Yeah.
Captain America's gone. They need someone to fill his shoes. They took two guys that have chemistry in the movies and gave them a TV show.
Yeah. I guess I just don't like the character of Bucky Barnes either. I like Falcon.
How dare you?
Falcon's great.
Yeah, who wants someone that was experimented on when he was taken captive and given the super soldier serum? Who wants that character
Not me.
that struggles between not knowing his past, not being able to control himself? Yeah, no, you're wrong. Everyone's entitled to your opinion except that one. You're wrong.
I just said I didn't like him. Oh God. My hand
Exactly.
went up.
All I see is like you like going like fidgeting.
Yeah, because
then you're saying your hand
because it
cramped
cramped
up.
up and I had to kind of like pull it out and stuff. Oh wait, that reminds me. I have to ask one of my clients if they can switch their time just because of my my doctor's appointment.
Right.
Go on without me. There was only tractor, Joe said. This is all I care about now. So in case everybody's wondering, this is the tractor Joe is talking about. Oh wait, Brandon, I can show you after. Because I have two different cameras to facilitate this. Oh wait,
Yeah,
it's on
no
your
one
phone. I don't know why I'm.
I got it. I just wasn't checking my phone during the podcast.
Yeah, I have to check mine. Well, I'm not checking mine. I have to ask if somebody can do a different time. But anyhow.
All right, so that's that as far. And then Marvel, I don't know if you want to pull it up so people can see Natalie Portman. Did you see the Natalie Portman's training for Thor: Love and Thunder?
So I knew that she was training. I didn't see that there was actually a thing. So let me find this.
As a personal trainer, like you need to check out this gun show. She's no longer Padme.
Thor workout. Oh, so they're literally one of the top searches. when you search Natalie Portman Thor is 4 muscles. Thor.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Why?
Okay, well, I just heard a buzzing sound. That's
Oh
all.
no. Oh, that may be the fan from my computer.
Oh, okay.
Where was it like shown on? Like,
Um,
oh wait, hold up.
it's just her in her looks like a maroon shirt.
Yeah, I found it. Hold on.
Okay. It was these people while Marvel films are like on decks and hotel room balconies with zoom lenses trying to get pictures of anything they can.
So do you think they have her on like the Marvel steroid regimen?
Nope.
Really?
How dare you?
Mean how?
I think she just dedicated some time, hit the gym, and Padme Amidala no more. She's going to be the new Thor.
Yeah.
That's what this movie is doing.
Yeah, I understand that, but I seriously do like. How old is she?
I don't know, Marco.
Well, we're searching that. Because I think she's in her 40s. Oh, no, she's 39. Yeah, I guess it's a bit more probable. And she's probably somebody that takes care of her body, anyways.
So, if you want to say, do people take this stuff seriously? Thor number 4. Chris Hemsworth, Natalie Portman.
I don't,
Let's do it.
honestly, I just think it's the way she's posing. I don't think she's like any bigger, really.
You're crazy. Who plays Tony Stark's love interest in the Iron Man movies?
Gwyneth Paltrow?
Pepper Potts. Yeah, she made a statement this week that she wouldn't mind returning to the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
Oh man, is she bringing her candles with it?
I don't know. Well, it'll be a cheap shot. But since there's no more Iron Man, I'd be okay if they brought her in as Rescue, because she did get her own Iron Man suit.
Yeah.
And in the comics, she is a superhero called Rescue.
Yeah.
So I think that's an interesting way for her to carry on the story post Iron Man.
Yeah.
But I know for a while she was pretty far out of it. She wasn't interested. That's why they had to pay her a lot of money to do that Spider-Man cameo.
I honestly think she just wasn't interested because other than Thor 3, she didn't really do too much in the movies. She was always just like kind of pushed aside, really.
Right. I don't blame her for not being.
But if she was given like a main role and stuff, that'd be interesting.
For sure. But we're getting into like really interesting territory. How many movies have a 4th movie in the franchise?
Star Wars.
Right. That's what I'm
saying. They have
saying.
2 fourth movies in the franchise.
Well, you got to think Avengers has 4 movies now too.
Yeah.
So this Thor character, I don't know how they're going to do Thor 4, if they're going to let him stay on. There's rumors that Thor joins the Guardians of the Galaxy.
Yeah.
And Natalie Portman takes over the Thor movies. So as long as Chris Hemsworth is game to keep doing these movies.
Yeah, as long as they keep pumping him steroids.
Nope.
He'll keep. What, you don't think?
Lean protein.
Yeah, okay.
Also, he's Australian. Their DNA, you don't even know what that DNA is like, Marco.
No, I don't.
They have snakes that could kill you everywhere. It's the Wild West.
I thought you were going to say some snake oil joke.
No, not at all. Since you keep bringing up Star Wars, if you want to type in, let me go real quick. Arcade, the number 1 up. Star Wars arcade machine.
Arcade number 1 up. Star Wars machine.
Arcade machine.
There's a pinball one. Arcade 1 up Star Wars. Home arcade game.
You might type in Walmart too. Walmart's the one that has it.
No, Arcade 1 up has it right here.
Is the one you sit in?
No, this is like regular, like Atari.
So.
Oh wait, the limited edition seated one.
This one was in arcades when I was growing up.
Oh really?
I mean, again, arcades were old even by the time I got there.
Yeah,
But for $400,
that's $400. Wow.
I'm very tempted. I don't have the space for it, but just the idea that I get to play that as much as I want and don't have to put in any quarters.
What game is on there?
There's 3 Atari games, so one for each of the Star Wars movies.
Okay. Yes.
I don't know if you want to
Star
share
Wars,
screen so
Empire
people can
Strikes
see.
Back, Return of the. Oh yeah, that's right. We can share screen because Joe's not here to.
I thought you'd do it for Natalie Portman, and then you were just like, I was just watching pretty much a reaction video. There you go.
Yeah.
Look at that bad boy. You sit right in there.
So I assume they have something. Says Star Wars right here, so I wonder if you get to blow up the Death Star in one of them. Probably.
I'm sure it's the first one of the levels.
Empire Strikes Back they have. You probably get to take down some AT-ATs. You probably get to fly the Millennium Falcon through an asteroid field, return the Jedi, take out another Death Star.
Are they ATs or is it ATs?
AT-AT.
Oh, really? I've been saying it wrong for
A long time.
ever.
Yes, you have. Oh man, this is great.
So I'm thinking, you want to go halvesies on it?
Halvesies? Oh man, I don't know if I have the
Yeah.
money for it right now.
Oh gosh, what'd you spend it on?
No, I'm
Another bed frame?
no, I'm saving up $2,500 plus I'm going to be trading in my car to get money for a new car. And then also the computer.
Rocco, did you just get a new car?
No, my car I've had since 2017.
Oh, were you talking about getting one this
I
summer?
was talking about I want to get one so then I have something for next winter because my car, when I have to drive to the gym at, like
4 minutes away.
5 in the morning. Yeah, no. So one Saturday morning, because Saturday mornings they're just like, no, we're not going to plow at all. And I have to drive through a good 6 inches of snow in my car that's only front wheel drive. And so there's an SUV in front of me that's like creating a trail on our road. So I'm like trying to stay in their tracks and everything, right? They end up having the audacity to pull into a driveway, okay? And I was like, oh, they must be going home. Maybe they had the late night shift or something. Great. So I start driving, and basically the only option I have is I can't slow up at all or else I'm going to stop. So I have to keep, putting down the gas. That car has the audacity to pull out of the driveway and follow me. They had a big SUV, all-wheel drive, and they couldn't continue making the trail. I get to the end of the of our street, going onto the main road. Not only is there like the 6 inches of snow, but there's a bunch of snow pushed off from the main road to ours, and there's like at least like a foot of snow. I'm like, there's no way I make it through that. I'm like, I can't come to a complete stop or else I'm not making it to the gym this morning. I'm going to have AAA come and get my car out of here. So I was like, either A, I get hit by a car, or B, I survive. So I floored it straight through, barely made it through this snowbank, and drove on my way to the gym. But also like I go to like Joe's house like maybe on like what does that mean? Oh, you're just putting up like before COVID and stuff, like probably once a week and stuff, and it's just better like on those dirt roads and everything to have like all-wheel drive and everything.
In this area, we're coming to you live from Berkshire County, also recorded, but either one. We haven't figured out the live part yet. But anyways, you need a 4-wheel drive car.
Yeah.
I drove my first car was like a 1991 Mercury Sable, a little old granny car.
Yeah.
And it's just like you need a heavy vehicle, and there's just no way for them to keep up with the plowing.
Yeah. Well,
this winter I drove through at least 4 or 5 snowstorms.
Well, this year though, they were like, "Oh, there aren't buses out, kids aren't going to school. Let's just not plow. Let's not worry about it." It was significantly worse this year because you notice it on days where kids didn't have school in the past, they would just like kind of like let it be, or if they canceled school early, they would like lessen up on how much they were plowing. But like this year, yeah, it was awful. Just nothing was plowed ever. Like our neighborhood, it would take them till like probably like noontime to start plowing it. I'm like, people have to get to work.
It's just like they just assume you guys are working from home.
Yeah. Yeah, it was awful. Now, I would like to talk about Impractical Jokers last week, but also we'll probably end up talking about it again when Joe comes back, but we'll have 2 episodes to talk about next week then.
Yeah, we can double up next week. That's fine.
But this,
You snooze, you tractor.
yeah, he gets to play with his tractor. But
So what I will say about this week's episode, I watched it twice,
it was so good.
back to back days, and I laughed out loud.
It was so good.
The hardest I've laughed at anything in a
Oh
long
man,
time.
they had again the punishments where they just pull them out of thin air, like, oh, you lost this challenge, now do this. This is your punishment. You lost the episode.
Well, I mean, I'll call BS on this one because there is a reason why Joe and Sal were the only two up there.
Yeah.
Back in the day when they would do challenges like this, the Joker versus Joker ones, they would have like the other two footage, and they would release it later in the season as like a special unreleased footage.
Yeah.
They just chose the funniest ones.
Yeah.
But oh my gosh, Joe doing karate
Oh, it was so fun.
on the balcony.
It was so good. What was it he said? Oh, wax on, jack off.
Yeah.
That one I lost it too. And then there was another one that he said, and he tweeted,
I want you to date my daughter.
"Oh, I want you to date my daughter." He did say that. No, there was another one when he like threw one.
Hadouken.
Hadouken. It was
Uh,
just so ridiculous because he just took it to the next level instantly.
I didn't Hadouken until I was 30, and now I've Hadouken 12 times since then. It's also like the Karate Kid. If you never saw the movie, he referenced that movie a lot.
Yeah, he did. I knew that.
Get him a Ziploc bag.
Yes, put him in a Ziploc bag. That one.
Or just the casual conversation where he's just like, "You guys carpool?" But Sal, oh my gosh, whatever character they made up for him or he put on himself, acknowledge me.
Yeah. Wait, like when he started doing the accent, like I was like, oh my god, what is he doing? I was like, he's not going to be able, like, there's no way you can keep this together like this.
I was laughing so hard. And then I think they teamed, like the guys worked really well with Joe, but those two girls they had building the furniture with Sal.
Yeah.
Would you like 100 stuffed peppers?
Yeah. And one of them goes, "Oh my god, that'd be great." And then the other one was like, "Do you think he'll actually have stuffed peppers sent out here?"
Just the idea that he's just an artist.
Yeah.
Difficult artist.
What?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember. The one that he wouldn't say was just like I had a sexual relationship.
Oh, with Truman
With,
Capote.
It was frowned upon.
Oh my god, it was so good.
Also, the punishment wasn't even anything because he was in that character.
Yeah.
It wasn't even anything bad. It was just awkward. And he's just like, season 10, and we're still doing this.
One of the girls didn't seem like too like offended by it. The other one seemed like she was like a little like pretty upset about it.
Well, those are personality types that you get to see because you got to think they paid them to come out. It was probably some website
Yeah.
where you can sign up for doing odd jobs. So they signed up. They knew they were getting paid. It wasn't their furniture.
They probably
so
got
the
paid
idea
even
that-
extra too after.
I don't know if they pay the people to be on Jokers or not. I assume there's some sort of flat rate.
So they said that they pay people depending on how. So like, they'll offer money if people don't want their face being shown,
Mhm.
or they'll offer money if people just don't want to be on there at all to try to see if they can get them to agree.
Well, now I know if I'm ever in Jersey and I run into them to like pretend like, no, you can't use it.
No, you can't use my footage. Well, what if we slip you $100? Oh yeah, no, that works. Great.
But such a good episode. I'm trying to think, what were the challenges this week?
The challenges. It was Joe. I can't. I'm blanking on the first challenges too.
I got my phone right here. Let me pull it up real quick. But it's just like, you forced my hand.
It's
And they
just
put the mascara
I
on
don't
him.
like such simple yet good challenges.
It's just like I said, it's just what the show is built on, and the idea that it's coming full circle.
Yeah. I remember the first challenges being very simple. I'm blinking right now on what they were.
Oh my gosh. So this one was kind of new. They had people come in for a security guard job.
Yes, yes, now I remember.
Oh my gosh. You top off yet?
The,
And again, it's just like there's a reason nobody turned down those jobs
yeah.
or Q's anti-janitor
Oh
stance.
my god. Oh my god. It was Q that had the guy walking around, right?
He called him blood.
Or was that Sal?
Well, they all had guys, but Q was the one where he took the coffee cup and threw it on the ground.
I think it was Sal though. They had one of the producers.
Oh, Dan Cass as the
Yeah,
ghost.
and I love how the guy looks at me and goes, "Stop. You there. Stop walking." And he just kept walking with the straight monotone face. And then he looks at Sal. He's like, "Who did you see that guy walking or something?" He's like, "What guy? I didn't see anything. Maybe if you see him again, point him out."
Right, and he's just like, "We saw Heather." No, no, I saw Heather. But even just the way they kick it off with Murr sitting in on story time,
Mhm. Oh my god.
just such they cut that other guy's ponytail.
Oh yeah, Joe. And Joe was like, I've been planning this for like a year or something too.
Totally weirded out by it. He's like, "Don't do it."
Yeah.
They've also
Well,
been planning it because they put it on the show a lot. This is like the
uh-huh.
third time they mentioned his ponytail in different episodes.
Yeah, and like Joe said, he's like, I've been playing. I'm looking forward to this for like a year now. But I do feel bad because that guy's definitely middle aged and stuff, and he just took out like a decent chunk of his hair. Who knows? Like that
I
may be
think
the last time he's able to grow it out like that.
because if you saw the ribbons, it looked like he cut it very specifically.
Oh, okay. Yeah, like the
So
hair ties.
yeah, so I think he specifically grew it out longer than he usually does.
Yeah, yeah,
So I just looked it up real quick. There's only one other challenge, and then the other one they had Joe and Sal do.
yeah,
So
yeah. It was just
they
those
did
two.
probably about 12, 13 minutes of that first challenge where
Yeah.
and you could tell they rented out that building.
I could definitely see that balcony one where it would be difficult for Q and Mur to get like I could see that challenge being hard to get like good moments on. So like the fact that Q and Mur didn't have anything on there, I understand.
Also, because you got to remember with COVID, there's so many restrictions on
Yeah,
filming. It might have been easier for them just to know, hey, these two are going to do it.
yeah,
Loser gets eliminated. Because otherwise, you have to like. There's a ton of. I don't know if you've ever read about it. The restrictions on filming. People have to be masked and 6 feet away,
yeah,
and then it's just like you can only film for so many hours. It was really strict in New York, New Jersey.
yeah, yeah. New York's the worst.
So the balcony was a really clever way around that because obviously the other two people knew each other,
Yeah, yeah,
so they were okay to be masked and not next to each other. Or even whatever website they use, like, hey, come build furniture, make sure you have a COVID test.
yeah.
Things like that can be done.
I just don't know how it works for a show like that though, because it's not like a traditional like film set, like a movie or scripted and stuff. This is like people just being filmed doing these ridiculous challenges and stuff. So I wonder if like they had different restrictions than say like a typical movie production set or something.
I'd be interested. It's funny to kind of watch with that lens, knowing what's going on.
Yeah,
So, like this first one where it's just like, hey, you're a security guard. The building's pretty much empty.
yeah,
The only people in there are actors that they can
yeah,
control,
yeah.
but they're still able to take that one person that doesn't know what's going on.
Was it Q's where they had the meltdown with like the printer and stuff and the
Oh
that
yeah,
one
eat the
that
paper.
one guy that's been showing up in the challenges more frequently, he just like starts screaming and ripping paper apart and everything.
Well, that was just like them saying like the government was coming in, that they had to burn all the files, and
Yeah, yeah.
you could tell one actress that was there because she takes a sledgehammer to the printer, and she's so awkward with it.
Oh my god.
The guy, IT guy that's chained up in the room, he's like, "You're gonna have to fill up the water."
And then he
When
goes
they
down and he
fire,
starts like licking it and like throwing it up to his face with his hands.
when they fired the guy, and he's just when they fired Hopper, and it was just like, "You're taking his job." The guy didn't blink at all. He's like, "Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
all right."
I get a steady income now.
The curse wall. Here, put something on there, and he does.
I wonder what he put on there. It was lengthy.
It was lengthy, and it was bad enough they couldn't show it on
Yeah,
TV.
yeah. Definitely intrigued. They should definitely have like a channel or something where you can watch Impractical Jokers uncensored.
Oh, that'd be a great idea.
Yeah.
I know they signed that deal with HBO, so I'd love it if they had like, even if they just did like 10 episodes
Yeah.
and they just showed clips of the edited stuff.
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious.
Although I don't need Joe Gatto butthole or anything when he does his.
I don't mean to be rude, Marco. Someone should write that idea down. That's one of your rare, like, good ideas.
I would pay extra money for it too.
I'm just saying, just like they already have the footage.
Yeah.
It's really just releasing it.
Yeah. They definitely just can't have that stuff on normal TV. So
Cable
like the
TV.
idea if they put it on streaming and stuff, they definitely
And then
could.
parents can like censor it.
Yeah.
Because I know a lot of kids watch it. Yeah, I don't need like a Bert Kreischer type
Yeah.
Joe Gatto experience where he's just going to be laying naked in front of a fireplace.
Yeah. Like blur that stuff out, but like in terms of like words and stuff, don't like.
The words.
So.
Yeah, I agree. All right, man. I don't mean to cut us short today, but we're on a little bit of time crunch. We're about 40 minutes.
Yeah, no, this works out perfectly.
All right, sounds good, man. Anything else you want to say to the people? Anything else you want to talk about?
No, I think we covered enough today. I think we really nailed stuff on the head of the nail, and I did not know.
Nope. All right, guys. We've been Nerds in the Gym podcast. I'm Brandon.
And I'm Marco.
And just a little teaser for next week. Marco got some blood drawn, and he's going to tell that story in a week.
Oh, yeah. My
All
first time.
Until next time, we're out.
Goodbye.